what's going on? Zach here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Before we get into this Galkut guide, I want to ask you guys a question. What game do you play the most of besides Raid Shadow Legends? Do you have time to play any other games? I know for me, besides Raid and Clash Royale, which I cover on my other YouTube channel, I'm a big retro gamer, so I like some old school, kind of like NES, 8-bit, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. That's kind of my jam back in the day. I love the old school Castlevania, Mega Man, Little Samson, DuckTales, like old school games like that. Big fan of them. Dragon Warrior series as well. And then more kind of modern era, I'm playing a lot of Skyforce Reloaded, which is a kind of new take on the shoot 'em up genre, kind of some RPG elements in it as well, some power-ups, stuff like that. Either way, that's Nintendo Switch. Love that game. Let me know if you have any good game recommendations. I only want your best, the best of the best, in the comments below. So here we go, guys. Today we're going to do a guide on a champion that I never really thought I would do a guide on. I forgot what guest it was that came on the channel. Oh God, I have so many guests on this channel, which I love.
With his A2 a bit.
I don't know why. Sometimes you just hate champions, you know? Sometimes you just hate them. I don't like them. Sorry.
I'm not a fan of.
I definitely feel like dwarves have come on as well in like the last
man.
few months. Like, there's
Look in here, it's like, wow.
Here.
Yeah.
I mean,
how you hand your guys to me. I like this move. I like this.
It's great. No,
yeah.
I just toss them on over, then I sit here and I drink my water. And
happy to do it. Happy to take your phone calls, everything. You do whatever you want.
That they, that they
got you. Yeah, you can sell it to him. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, when he's decided to join my clan, I'll give him.
There you go, man. But I forgot who mentioned him, but somebody, I don't know if it was Boomer or Hades or Scratch, I don't know, or somebody else, but they were so high on Galkut, right? And I'm like, Galkut, really? And then I looked and Hades has a video out on him. It's an older video, but really him just nuking the hell, no pun intended, out of the arena. So I'm like, wow, man, Galkut is an interesting champion. I decided to build him and see what he can do. And I found some very interesting use cases for this champion. So mangle limbs on his A1, decreased defense, okay? Not bad, 40% chance at landing, okay? On the A2, attacks all enemies one by one in random order. Damage inflicted decreases by 25% after each hit. So brutal battering, very unique, fun ability in the game. The good news is this ability starts out with an insane multiplier, one of the highest in the game for a quasi AoE damage dealer. 6.7 multiplier on this ability, so dealing a ton of damage. We are hitting just for monster hits in the arena. Think about it. That is 6.7 multiplier. That's what you'd expect out of like the hardest hitting champion single target in the game. Thinking like Turvo, Krutraxa, Little Miss Annie, stuff like that. So we're getting that plus additional damage onto every other enemy, scaling down as we go. Granted, the base attack of this champion is not as high as those other single target nukers, to be clear with you guys. On the A3, Boom Barrage attacks all enemies, places a bomb that detonates after 2 turns. The real bummer here is that it's 2 turns. If it was 1 turn, sign me up, right? 2 turns, I mean, I don't know, Bomb's just not that good right now, even against Hydra Clan Boss, even against Bommel. It's fun to use these champions to make a bomb team. They can be effective, but it's just not the best. You know, it's a bomb right now can always be outclassed by poison or HP burn, or just raw damage in any area of the game. But I hope someday they do buff bombs. Instead of just making enemies that are more susceptible to bomb damage, I just wish they would kind of rework and buff bombs in some way. Either way, he has an aura, increased ally crit rate in dungeons by 24%. Now, a champion like Galkut can help you out a lot in the early game, in the mid game, even scaling a little bit into the end game of Raid. He's a great campaign farmer. I said it, a great campaign farmer. I'm going to show you guys 7 or 8 second campaign runs on 12-3 Brutal with this champion, and he's fairly easy to build as a campaign farmer.
Absolutely. Great. Well, I'm not sure, but positivity is the first step. Love it.
Fun in the arena. Not the best nuker. He's not gonna be out nuking like Magnar. Speaking of another hard-hitting Spirit Affinity champion, even Marquez, probably not gonna be out nuking her either. However, when you're talking Spirit Affinity, non-legendary, I can't think of many. I might be forgetting somebody. Many better Spirit Affinity nukers for the arena than Galkut. So if you don't have an OP legendary yet as your arena nuker, Galkut can serve you very, very well. In terms of masteries, I went with kind of a PvP build here, guys. I went with Helm Smasher as my tier 6 option. I also went with, instead of going Whirlwind of Death and instead of going Cycle of Violence, I basically go PvE nukes, I go Whirlwind of Death, Cycle of Violence. PvP nukes, I go Ruthless Ambush, increase damage by 8% for the first hit on each enemy, and then I go down to Opportunist, increase damage inflicted on targets under stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, and petrification by 12%. That's going to be very handy because I'm going to set them up with a Cornelia or Prince Kymar, Syl the Drakes, so we will be getting extra damage, 12% out of that Opportunist ability, plus an additional 8%, so 20% extra damage out of those two masteries combined. And then defense, we can go support or defense. I went with improved parry, try to keep him alive a little bit, and I went with retribution to counterattack, land those decreased defenses off of his A1. Of course, you can go support and get more accuracy on this champion, which he needs for those bombs and the decreased defense again on that A1. So in terms of artifacts, guys, I just kind of used what I had lying around. So I have one broken set, I have a perception and a fatal. Perception is good on this champion. You can go savage as well. So keep in mind, we are going in the arena in today's video without savage gear on him. He'll get more damage if we put him in a savage set. But again, I just put the best gear that I had lying around, not being used by other champions, because I've been shifting gear around way too much on my account lately.
Hang on, I have to do something. Check this out.
Accuracy is fine on the banner. I went attack on the banner to scale up that attack a little bit. I went with crit damage on the amulet. However, I will say, don't hesitate on any of your damage dealers going defense or HP if they're ever dying or if they're dying a lot, instead of crit damage. 40% crit damage is nice, but oftentimes you can get, I don't know if I have any lying around here, but you can get a, right here, perfect, first one I clicked on, right? Check out this artifact. You can get a defense artifact, flat stats, with a lot of crit damage anyway. 17% is not that bad, 23% less than 40%, but we get a lot of defense as well. So don't be afraid to go defense or HP on your amulets. On this particular champion, I would be inclined to go HP on the amulet if you don't want to go with that extra damage on the crit damage amulet. I went HP for that same reason on the ring. Now listen, if you're only using him in the arena, probably just gonna want to go attack on the ring. But again, HP on the ring, getting 4K HP on a base HP of 11K. Let's talk a little bit about that here, guys. Man, oh man, oh man. His base HP is so weak sauce. 11,400, are you kidding me? That's why getting a flat stat ring HP is actually incredibly good. HP percentage is not gonna scale very well on this champion. 11,400, that's like a common HP. So that's definitely the big, massive downside of Galkut, is it's hard to keep this dude alive. Now, the good news is, base defense is solid, 1222. Attack is okay, 1321. Speed is meh, pretty bad at 91, so I did prioritize getting speed on my substats. I went speed on the boots. I went attack percentage, if it ever comes up. I went attack percentage on the chest. I went crit damage on the gauntlets. Again, good crit damage gauntlets here. Speed, I got a double roll, so sign me up. Getting 22 speed out of these gauntlets. Getting crit damage on your gauntlets was my first priority on this champion because I'm using him as a nuker to do damage, so I'm looking for crit rate as substats on all my other artifacts first and foremost. So if you can go with, say, 3 perception or savage, it makes it a lot easier to build him with accuracy too, to land those bombs for PvE content. So there's a few ways to build this champion. I kind of thread the needle, kind of rode the fence, if you will, and I went a little bit of both, right? PvE and PvP. Let's go ahead and show you him in different areas of the game, starting with, let's start with campaign, right? So 12-3 brutal right now, best place to farm. Here he goes. So I've tried, you know, a few runs with him as a campaign farmer. You'll be surprised by how fast he goes, man. He's quick. Boom, easy, done. That was his A2. That's his A3. And then he comes right back in here, quick A1, and then Come on, come on. Don't be 10 seconds, man. Come on. This is the longest time that we've had, and I'm not gonna cut this. I'm gonna give you the real results here. I ran it 3 times and it was always 7 or 8. And then we get 11 seconds when I hit record, right? So here he goes, 8 seconds, there we go, 8 seconds. All right, that's better. Pretend that was the first run. Either way though, guys, that's better than your starting champions for campaign. It's better than most champions out there, other than maybe like Bellower, Fellhound, and like Queen Ava, some legendary champions, right? But you can do a lot worse as a campaign farmer. And what's nice about this champion is you can build him as a campaign farmer and an arena nuker and a DPS in in dungeons, right? Especially Ice Golem, because think about it, he's better when he's targeting more than one mob, right? Because he does, on that A2, he's unfortunately not going to hit 4 times on one boss or 5 times on one boss. It's hitting every enemy one at a time randomly, right? So the more enemies, the better that he's attacking. So the boss has minions, he's even better, doing a lot of damage to the minions and the boss. So that was campaign. Let me run a quick dungeon run with this champion. He's good in clan boss. He's good in Hydra clan boss if you can keep him alive. Gotta keep him alive, right? That's the issue with this champion. I would love to see, Plarium, if you're watching, Galkut is a fun champion, has a lot of possibilities. I would love to see this champion. His use case would move. Let me put something on the background for you guys, sorry. His use case would be a hell of a lot better. Fairly free-to-play friendly team. Galkut, Stag Knight, of course. But then 3 rares, Reliquary Tender, Bellower, and Doomscreech. I'm a big fan of Doomscreech, man. This A2 is really solid. Fills turn meter by 30%, increased defense, all allies, 2 turns, 3 turns. Okay, so as we go here, man, if Plarium would come in and give him some more HP, he would automatically be much more viable against some Doom Tower bosses, but primarily Clan Boss and Hydra Clan Boss. So I would love to see a buff to this champion. I doubt they will, but I would love to see a buff to Galkut to where his base HP was raised a bit, maybe to 14,000 instead of 11,000. I don't mind it being on the low side, but God, 11,000 is laughably low. It might be the lowest out of any epic champion in the game. It might be the lowest out of any rare in the game. Exaggerating a little bit, but it's bad, So raise his, I would love to see his base HP raised a little bit. And his base speed, I know bomb champions, with the exception of Lord Shazar, are usually pretty slow in general. However, I would love to see that 91 brought up to around 94 to 97 range, I don't want to be too greedy and ask for like 110 speed on the champion, because bomb champions, again, are traditionally a little bit slower. However, I do think that 91 is really, really tough to swallow. It's very slow champion. That's why, again, I'm looking for speed when building him, so he's a little bit more effective in terms of, just the overall cadence of the champion, and a little bit easier to build with more speed without having to have insanely good artifacts. So anyway, guys, you can see his damage. I mean, he's doing a lot of damage. That brutal battering just went off there against the minions. How do you guys think the damage will kind of pan out here, comparing these champions? I think it would probably go Galkut, probably Stag Knight second, Bellower third, Doomscreech, Reliquary Tender. I think that's going to be the order. But either way, Galkut is a massive carry in terms of damage, man. He can really dish it out. So let's see how much damage he does here. This is Ice Golem 20, by the way, guys. Obviously, affinity is going to be pretty important with this champion, so you want to go against Force Affinity or against Spirit Affinity bosses. He will be mitigated quite a bit, not letting the decreased defense, the bombs as dependently against Magic Affinity bosses. So anyway, guys, not too shabby. It's going to be around 2 minutes and 30-second run, it looks like here. That was the bomb barrage, doing around 50k damage to the Ice Golem, plus, of course, putting that bomb down. Very curious, and being a decent decreased defense option against bosses, certainly. You can run this guy again in especially, well, I guess you can run him in any dungeon for the most part, right? You can run him in any dungeon as a damage dealer. Unfortunately, again, bombs aren't as strong as I think they ought to be in the game, but you can still get some damage out of this dude just because of that A2. And the A3 is still a hard-hitting AoE attack, as we saw on that campaign run. All right, let's take him into the arena here, guys. He got 2.3 million damage. Again, the lineup here is really stacked in favor of Galkut to be a heavy DPS champion. HP with accuracy, retaliation, crit rate, crit damage. We'll sell it. All right, guys, let's go to the arena, right? Let's end things off in the arena here with this champ and see what he can do here. So let's see. None of these teams look super impressive. Let's just take him in here on auto. I have him being set up by Prince Kymar. Again, I want somebody, we could use Cornelia. We could use basically anybody who's gonna, look at that damage. So we should have slowed it down. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. I mean, granted, very weak team in terms of they didn't have high defense or anything like that. Let's just kind of go down the list here and see what he can do. I want to slow it down when he nukes though. And I want to test his A2 and his A3. So let's just go manual here. Debuff, okay. That's really, okay, here it is. 150K on his first hit. And then it scales down to what, around 60K or so, if I saw that correct. I might have missed all the numbers. Let's go ahead and give it one more. I need a harder team here, don't I? Let's go for this squad real quick. And then we'll refresh. Try to find some more tanky teams, right? And remember, it's in random order, unfortunately. Another way that you could buff this champion is you can choose the first target. You kind of like Trundas, right? So we'll do, again, so it doesn't matter. I can't target anybody, right? Yeah. But again, 154K, not bad. Lady Kimmy's still alive because, again, magic affinity, so you have to keep an eye out there. But definitely a viable arena nuker. I mean, he's hitting incredibly hard. And there, he did land a crit there on that. Was that the A3? Or was that the A2 again? I think it was the A2 because Kymar reset his abilities. Let's check out, okay, look at this squad right here. I mean, they got Krisk, they got Duchess. Let's see how we do here. And I want to try his A2 here against this defensive team, and then I'll come in with the A3. So let's see what he can do here. Let's slow it down. I mean, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. For an epic champion, again here, not the best epic nuker. Again, Magnar, it's hard not to compare him to Magnar, but his first hit is really incredible. Tough to keep alive. He's gonna fall very easy, right? But let's see if we can take these guys down here. I think we're looking pretty good here, Ash. I think we're looking pretty good. But again, man, I mean, is he an endgame arena nuker? No. But can you get by with that ability? Absolutely. Absolutely you can. Very interesting champion. If they buff Bomb in the future, definitely a champion worth building, right? If you need a campaign farmer, you know, there's a 7 or 8 second or 11-second campaign farmer. Great option for you guys. Let's go against this team here. And let's try his A3 just to see how much damage he does with it. The bomb ability, if you will. So, start off speed boost, come in here, put them to sleep, allow Madame Ceres to come in and debuff, and let's open up with the A3 instead. And he has 250 accuracy. Let's see if he's able to land. Oh, wow. I mean, that was a lot of damage. I wonder if he could just kill them all with his A2. Let's come back around. Hopefully we can just come right back around. So you ever go 2 times speed to 1 time speed? It's painfully slow, man. All right. He is decreased attack right now is applied on him, which is unfortunate. Let's come in here and see what we can do. This is the A2 here. Boom. Oh, yeah. So, not too bad. That's going to conclude our guide for Galkut, guys. I gotta say, man, he's not an endgame OP champion for the 5th time, but he's a very cool champion that you can use in multiple areas. I didn't show you Clan Boss or Hydra, but certainly can use him there. Again, his effectiveness just slightly mitigated by his base HP. Guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.